Hey there, my name is Pravus. Welcome to more Surviving Mars in New Warsaw. We have survived the Trials of Metatron, which honestly, if that doesn't feel like a Stellaris origin story, then I don't know what to tell you. I think that was pretty cool, but we did get through it. We have proven ourselves worthy of something, and now we have a few other new problems to contend with. Massive overpopulation being one of them. I don't have enough jobs or homes to go around. Gonna have to figure that out. I did say I was gonna turn off the career AI mod, though the more I think on it, I'm not confident that's really the culprit here. I think this may just be a consequence of the special modifier where people have to use trains really working out a lot harsher than I expected it to. So we're going to give it a little bit more time to see if these trains and stuff are going to help us. Building out a lot more space with our Mega Dome is probably going to help with that a lot. Hearts of Iron 8? Good God! We released a lot of versions and I wasn't even looking at that anyway. But yeah, so we need to get a lot of the people who are currently overpopulating some of these domes out of here, but if we can do that, I think that may solve some issues, and then we will just see if having an expansive train network solves the problem or not. I want to find a solution for this, dang it. I don't want to assume that the mods are the problem. It may not be fair to judge that at all. In the meantime, a lot of our economy is looking pretty good. There are some things we need to worry about. I'm going to go ahead and start getting another 2,000 concrete over in this direction. We probably do want to build out a handful of different wonders. I could see that being kind of helpful for us, but we will see. Specific things that come to mind would be things like the project Mohole, so we can start getting more metals and rare metals without any needs of a deposit, and also the Excavator for basically infinite concrete for the rest of the game. Both of those would solve some pretty big needs for us. And then it really just comes down to terraforming. How quickly can we terraform the dang planet? The answer is it's going to take a while. But it is a project worth beginning, and let's be honest, you don't want to end a Surviving Mars series without a nice, happy green planet with Bob Ross trees all over the place, right? Right. We are burning through some things like our rare metals way faster than I know what to do with, and that's because we are overproducing on electronics right now. This is fine for when we build wonders. I'm not willing to stop doing this right now, but it is going to be more of an issue. I am thinking it may be time to go ahead and put the Bengal Fields out to the Bengal Fields. This is no longer working because we don't have the train network to round up all the seniors and send them over here. And to be honest, I don't know. I think we've reached a point with only 27 seniors as my population out of 359. This is now completely manageable, and we can let people live out their ripe old age if we want to. That is a luxury we can now afford. So yeah, I think I am going to go ahead and scrap this and just remove this entirely. We'll pretend it never existed. You can't prove otherwise if there's no evidence. What other things do I want to work on as far as some research? Well, we're going to go ahead and get things like the nuclear terraforming, which unfortunately would use up a rocket, and I don't have any rockets. Thank you, Renegades, for that one. But if we melt the polar ice caps, that's a pretty big boost in water, so I want that. Also, the Planetary projects for cloud seeding and stuff like that. We already have the technology to launch some space mirrors and stuff. Very expensive, but very effective. We should also go ahead and grab some conservation landscaping so we get more waste rock and use it where I want it. Also, the Dozer Rover. Gosh, my brain. Sometimes it just decides to flip things around. I can't decide if that's dyslexia, but it's not been an issue anywhere else. It's just, I don't know, once in a while, it's not an issue until it is. Anyway, the point is, I want to get some of these to actually work on some landscaping projects, specifically digging out lakes. And if I can get an excess of water, we'll go ahead and start making those to boost up our water levels as well. Also, terraforming subsidies for money so I can buy a replacement rocket. Thank you, Renegades. Okay, Mega Dome is going up, and boom. There we go. Congratulations, all sponsor goals have been completed, which that's not the sponsor goal list. This is the sponsor goal list. And they just gave me $2 billion for that one. Nice, I can buy a replacement Polish rocket now. Poland can once again into space. All right, anyway, cool. That's one really big goal completed. Now we have to decide who gets to name the dome. Let me pull up the poll. It is going to be, oh, Virstein. Congratulations, you get the big fat Mega Dome. Just need to get a passage hooked up over here and we'll be good to go. I'll also add in another large train stop in case I use this to branch off in a lot of directions. Boom, now we've got power and everything else. Gorgeous. Okay, what do we want to do with this dome? Honestly, it mostly needs to be a big population center. Of course, one big issue is I really don't need that many things from people. I don't need more machine parts, electronics, polymers, and so on. I do need some rare metals mining, that's for sure, and this does have a double science boosts, so we can get some science going here with the Hawking Institute. Beyond that, I'm kind of thinking maybe another Martian university. We've got a lot of non-specialized building up in our colony once again, because we simply don't have enough class sizes. So we'll add in 1 or 2 more of those, and we'll make this into a very cerebral hub with the Hawking Institute. And for our spire, it would make sense to grab something like a network node, boosting the overall research even further, because we can do things like that. So yeah, we got our work cut out for us over here. This is gonna take a lot of resources to build. That's fine though. So let's see, I've got almost $10 billion. Let's go ahead and buy a new rocket. 3 billion, yes, fine by me. Any cargo we want? You know, I was just saying I wouldn't mind getting something like one of those dozers. What else we have here? There's actually a bunch of things that come from some of the other sponsors that I've unlocked that I've never really used. Again, because I usually only play this game on maximum difficulty, which means I'm railroaded into Paradox Interactive. So things like an RC generator, I've never used this before. Why I'd want to, I don't even know. What's the harvester do? Concrete. Really? Oh, wait a minute, I want that. That sounds good. And a safari, I want one of those. And a dozer, I want one of those. And a driller, extract metals and rare metals. It wastes 50% of the materials in the process. It doesn't say that about the harvester, though. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't want a driller, but I do want a harvester. That would save me a lot of infrastructure, I think. Oh, for God's sake, the Renegades just sabotaged another building. I gotta rebuild the medical center. We have 17 Renegades in the dome. Yeah, this happens when you start getting really high populations. And even if you have enough officers to go around, it usually doesn't solve the problem. They're all over the place, these dang Renegades, and aside from sending them out into space to get vented, I'm really not sure what to do about them. I mean, we could do that, right? I could have kept the Bengal Fields and said, forget the seniors, let's just go ahead and have a train stop over here somewhere where it just vents all the Renegades. But the thing is, every soul, I think it resets and adds some. Well, is that true? Hang on, what's the exact rule? I'm trying to remember. I think it may be something like where it adds, if you can have a higher cap, it adds one Renegade per dome per soul. So if you're killing them fast enough, in theory, the Renegades never actually hit a critical mass and do that kind of damage. In theory. Oh, I don't know. Let's see if we can get away without it. But if I have to revive the Bengal Fields just after I retired them, I mean, I'm not opposed. I'll do it. Oh, for God's sake, why do we now have a meteor storm hitting me right here? Get the lasers up and running, for God's sake! We've got 4 fractures on Wehrstein over here. Gosh dang it, the meteors were all the way up here in the corner. I can still see a bunch of them. Did we get a second meteor storm? Or maybe this is space junk. That might be what's going on, honestly, I don't know. Anyway, here comes another rocket. Yay! We have rockets again and a whole bunch of rovers. Awesome! Hey, Harvester, can you, go automatically find me some stuff? No active research. Really? Alright, let's go ahead and start working on some of those wonders. Could build an even bigger dome at some point, by the way. The Geoscape Dome, a little slice of Earth on Mars. It's kind of cute, but not necessarily what I need. Core heat convector, if you have lots of water, that's a good option, but I don't. We don't have any need for Martian vegetation, though I guess we could actually start working on this, couldn't we? We could start trying to, plant down some very basic algae or something and start building up the planet that way. It's an option. It's an option. Project Mohole is done. Okay, so I need 400 concrete for this sucker. The machine parts aren't an issue. Surprisingly, we're running low on metals, but yeah, concrete's the real problem. Fair enough, I guess. Hey, where's the harvester? Where are you currently working? You're just running around in circles. Ah, look at me go! I'm gonna harvest this entire thing. Yeah, there we go. No, it's fine. This guy is slowly building up some excess concrete. Eventually, we'll get there. And we're starting to have another influx of children. We're already up to 50. We were down to 12 for a brief moment, and yeah, now people are popping out the babies. You can watch it happen, literally. Okay, population can grow, but I've got 84 spare jobs to go around right now. This is no longer an issue. I say let's go for it. We've also finished with the large-scale excavation to solve our concrete problems. Remind me, what does that cost? It's under Wonders, Excavator, 200, blah, blah, blah. This is doable, actually. We can totally do this. And we should. Let's go ahead and set up a giant excavator over in this direction. Hey, Martian vegetation is now an option for us. This should mean we now can get seeds. Well, I did send a rocket back to Earth for this exact purpose, so let's go ahead and buy a bunch of seeds. 50 should be more than enough, if I'm honest. Of course, if we're gonna make use of these seeds, then that means we need to go ahead and start building out a handful of lakes. Let's plan on doing that here. What can I fit nearby? I need to have a lake that is going to start building up some soil quality in the nearby areas. Something like this should work fine. The only problem with this is it's going to take me a lot of water, right? We spend some concrete and stuff, we get this sucker built up. It's going to start building up the water quality on the planet a little bit, as well as making the surface of the planet fertile, so we can start planting down some very basic vegetation, but yeah. It's going to eat up a lot of water for a while. The good news is it looks like I'm able to produce 9 excess right now. That's pretty decent. And there's our first lake. Okay, we are now starting to slowly fill this with some water. It's taking up 5. Wow, 5 water. That's before I even dig out these other ones. That's fine. This is how it goes. Okay, another meteor storm just started. Fuel is getting worse. We gained another 2% temperature. Waiting this long was a mistake. No, this is going according to plan. We'll do an expedition to get rid of the space junk now that we do have a rocket, right? The fuel actually does matter now. But I farmed out like an extra 6 or 7% temperature out of that arrangement. I'd say that was fine. And who cares about the space junk that all falls over here? This is meaningless. In fact, I'd even say it's a good thing. Look how much stuff is littering the surface of the planet. There's polymers and metals all over the dang place. Hey, the excavator's up and running. All right, we're making an extra 50 or so concrete per soul. Get enough of this together, we'll get a mohole together. Once we have a mohole, I'll be able to produce all the other resources. Whoa, game, don't freeze and crash on me. Dear God, please. Pause. God, it scares me every time it's doing this. It's like, please don't lose progress. The funny thing is, I actually don't remember this game struggling this much back when I actually played it regularly. It seems like there's something relatively new that's going on that seems to be killing it. Look at this. They're just stutter-stepping all over the dang place. Oi! Anyway, we can go ahead and start working on a few of these projects. Get some research going that way. New technologies and stuff. Sure. Launch a magnetic shield, lose the rocket, but we also reduce some of the atmospheric loss. That could all be pretty good for us. Let's see, capture some meteors for a bit of temperature. I actually could do this now. Get the remote Martian laboratory for a new breakthrough. I'm tempted. I am tempted. There's melt the polar ice caps. 20% water and 10% atmosphere. See, that's pretty good, we might say. That's pretty darn good. Not gonna do cloud seeding while we still have toxic rains, though. That's generally not a great idea. Clean junk in space. That's the one I want. Let's go ahead and launch the rocket. And we've solved the junk in space thing. See? That was fine. That was a net positive across the board. Y'all worried about nothing. Now, for a little bit more of the terraforming, we should consider getting ourselves a forestation plant somewhere over, let's say, right here. And the only thing that I'm able to plant down would be lichen. Hey, look. Lichen! Starting to grow in a few different places over here. It's kind of gross. It's basically just algae and moss. That's fine. And let's go ahead and solve this whole remote Martian laboratory thing. I just want to find out what other breakthroughs I'm able to get. Pure rains are now possible. We've hit that 40%. Well, wait, hang on. No, it keeps bouncing back and forth. I can't decide what it wants. As long as we're over 40%, though, that solves the toxic rain problem. Yeah, see, it just keeps bouncing back down to 39.9. It's the whole loss of atmosphere. Eventually, this will go away. Cool. Okay, cloud seeding is now actually totally worth it for me to boost up soil quality in a whole bunch of places. Something's still wrong with this Warsaw dome over here, by the way. I think it's got to do with the sanatorium or something, and it's like screwing people up. Because for whatever reason, people are going to get cured here, and then they don't leave. Right? That's kind of the issue. Like, people come here and they don't go away, and that's why we're getting overpopulated. They should. I've got plenty of trains in range. They should be able to go either over here to the Sora Dome or go to any of the other ones over here. But for whatever reason, they just don't wanna. I don't know why. Anyway, we got a new breakthrough, the positronic brain. What? Hang on. Allow the construction of bio-robots at the drone assembler. They eat and can gain traits, but they can't reproduce and they never die of old age. I can build androids? Well, that sounds fun. I'm gonna try rearranging a couple more things over here, which I know is crazy, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Let's get rid of the sanatorium and the Martian University in this area. We'll rework this. I'll get some more nurseries for kids. We'll make this into another school spire, and we're going to move things around. So how about we get rid of... Oh my god, that is so many children in this freaking... Okay. And I was going to get rid of this school spire. Now I'm starting to think that might be a mistake. I don't know. Well, look, all I can say is I'm about positive that for some reason the sanatorium ain't working here, and it's got to do with the perks I have over here, or rather the quirks thing. Right? I don't want to have all these flaws listed here. It's just making people move into places that don't make any sense. So we'll turn this all off. We'll say that children are at least preferred here, and that's going to have to be good enough. There we go. This lake is now filled, so it's no longer draining 5 water. It only takes 1.5. It does require constant refilling, which is a little bit annoying, but once you get them filled, at least, it's not nearly as bad. This is about the time when you just start placing down things like moisture vaporators everywhere. And the better that the water quality goes up on the planet, the more value you get out of the moisture vaporators as well. So that also works. Alternatively, of course, we could just go do some deep water mining here, and that's fine. But I haven't had to do that so far, and I don't intend to start now. Oh my gosh. Freaking Renegades, stop blowing up your own homes. This is, like, really not working to your favor. Gosh, I'm gonna have to find a way to start killing all the Renegades, aren't I? Oh my gosh, if you make me bring out the freaking Bengal fields again, I swear to God. Hey, Project Mohole just finished over here as well. Beautiful. Takes a lot of power, so we're starting to run a little low. But we're now producing some metals and some rare metals and also some waste rock per soul, and we can boost this even further if I'm willing to spend another 200 of these machine parts, and I am. We're going to go ahead and open up some additional shifts over here. We haven't needed machine parts for a long time, but these are the big investments. But honestly, I should now be pretty much set when it comes to things like concrete and metals for the rest of the game. As long as we can keep on top of our basic life support, I'm talking things like water, I'm saying, like, you know, things like food and stuff, we should be looking pretty good now. If there's anything we need to work on next, it's actually going to be extreme power generation. Microfusion would be a good one to pick. Why am I not making any progress in science anymore, by the way? Oh, I think we're out of global supports. I think I've unlocked everything. I have. So rather than move on to the next thing, you just made me sit here and have no research for a long freaking time? Dang you, game. Come on, don't do that to me. Anyway, we'll start working on an artificial sun project, and we can place solar panels all around that thing. And it's going to take care of my power needs for the rest of the game. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild the Bengal fields over here, by the way. I know. It's stupid, right? Because I just got rid of it. But I'll be honest, the Renegades are actually starting to get out of control. And it has been a very, very, very long time since I've had to worry about this, so I'm hoping I don't mess this up. But I am pretty sure it is entirely possible for Renegades who normally... Oh, cloud seeding's done. Who normally cannot be reassigned under any circumstances. You can, I think, manipulate the filters to force them to head over toward the fields and just start dying off. And as long as we do this properly, I should only be able to get 5 Renegades per soul, but ideally, we kill off a lot more than that. I mean, we have 54 in the colony right now. A full 10% of my colony are Renegades who are actively sabotaging things. You think I'm gonna let them do that? Abso-freaking-lutely not. By the way, it's raining. I mean, it's very pretty. Very pretty, lots of rain. You know something we could totally do, which would not be a bad plan? Open farms. We haven't researched this yet, but we should. If I can get some soil quality to build up in a few spots, and things like rains like this will help, we'll be able to grow massive amounts of food outside on the planet's surface. But if not that, then at least we can start farming out huge amounts of seeds, so I can keep my farms within the domes focused on the good stuff. Okay, artificial suns are now active. We need to place you down. You're going to take up a lot of space, if I recall. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. We can place it down over in this general vicinity, but I wanted to save this for some farming and stuff. So maybe we just place the artificial sun, like, right over here or something. I don't care. I mean, I care a little bit. This thing takes a lot of water on startup. Like, a lot of water. We really need to start building up our reserves here. Gosh dang it, and now in Wehrstein they destroyed a farm. See, that's actually annoying because you have to build up the dang fertility all over again. Freaking Renegades. All you're doing is making me resolute in my solution to just kill you all. Alright, I don't know what exactly you were hoping to accomplish, but if it was to encourage me to kill all of you, you have succeeded. My tolerance has reached its end. Alright, we're gonna call this one the Bengal Fields Redux. My plan here is to hook up a train network because I'm hoping that this is the way we can get the Renegades to actually travel over here. This may not work. All right, I'm just gonna say right now, like, trains are still a new enough thing that I might still misuse them. But I am hopeful that we will be able to use these correctly, and this is gonna solve our problem. Oh, would you look at this? A senior automatically assigned himself over here to the Bengal Fields Redux. That's not what I was intending, but alrighty, thank you. Renegades, top priority, you must go here. Hey, actually it was a Renegade senior, even better! Heck, the shuttles are dropping them all off over here for me. Oh, perfect, I don't even need the train. Yeah, shuttles kind of make this all pointless, don't they? Alright, anyway, it's working. If I take a quick look over here, yep, Renegade, Renegade, Renegade. Yeah, there we go. I'm pretty sure our birth rate can support just killing off 5 people a day, minimum. Oh, is this the Renegade convention? Yeah, guys. Is it getting a little hot in here? Oh, yeah. Die. Hey, the farm is now up and running. Okay. All we're gonna plant down are some cover crops. That's all I care about for now. It's going to take a small number of seeds, but as it gets harvested, is going to start producing more seeds than we had before, and it's going to start boosting up the soil quality. Once that gets up there, we can go ahead and start growing anything else. Leaf crops and wheat and stuff, potatoes and herbs are actually fairly effective. But yeah, let's see, we need 50 and 70% for wheat. Very good food yield, though. I don't know. For now, I just need seeds. All right, this will do the job, and it'll start boosting up the soil. This is good. How are those Renegades doing, by the way? Oh, we're down to 25. Oh, no. Oh, no. Are the Renegades dropping like flies? These lakes look disgusting, by the way. You sure this is water, not sewage? Hey, terraforming progress. 50% temperature means no more cold waves. No more cold waves.
We have a food shortage.
That is one of many disasters that has been formally eliminated from the game. Only a few more to go. Okay, drone assemblers are up now. Go ahead and just build a bunch of drones for now. I don't really need the bio-robots, but the fun fact is I'm pretty sure we can get these for just metals instead of electronics too. Look at that. Huh. Those two breakthroughs actually work really, really, really well together, and the ones I'm talking about are the positronic brain and, what was it, the printed electronics? Yeah. I think those two actually are amazing. What do you know? Hey, the artificial sun is almost done. We need to pump a lot of water into this thing because we have to start a stable fusion reaction. Cue all the Spider-Man 2 memes. There it is. Stored water, 1,000. That is a lot of water. It's a lot of water. But it's starting to work. Look at this thing. Oh! Almost. And there we go. We have a stable fusion reaction. The artificial sun is ready to go. All right. So this thing is going to start producing 1,000 power. 1,000 power is a lot of power. It's pretty amazing, actually. We can make that even better if I also place down things like solar arrays nearby. I actually can't see its range very effectively. The solar array itself doesn't look like it fits as neatly as I was hoping it would. That's a shame. Okay, we could do advanced solar panels. Meh, I don't know. It definitely, if I were to go for some, let's say, triple electric scrubbers nearby, we could get a lot of extra power production out of this thing. But the point is, they'll always be pointed toward the sun, which means they're working all the time. And actually, I'm doing this kind of imperfectly right now. We've got like 1 or 2 little spaces over here that aren't being used properly. But with 2 triple electric scrubbers, these things are never going to require maintenance, and it is permanent power for the rest of the game, which means now I have no problem going for things like another one of these carbonate processors. And also a magnetic field generator, which would normally cost me an absolute ton. But it's fine, because we now have so much power, I can set these things up, and I got nothing to worry about. And let's go ahead and melt those polar ice caps. I said I want to do it, let's do it. This dust storm's gonna be very short, by the way. Only like 16 hours in total, that's it. Easy mode. How are we doing on those Renegades? Oh, only 3 left, what do you know? One thing I am concerned about, I'm looking at the food start to go down. We had 1,500, we're now down to only 1,000. These open farms could solve the problem. We've got some pretty decent soil quality. If I want to start mixing in some potatoes, for example, that will slowly start to solve the problem. I've still got way too many people who are unemployed. Could try setting up some very basic things like some megacorps, or we could just accept that at some point we're gonna have to start working toward those workshop milestones, which in my opinion don't really matter. But I mean, it's a thing we could do, so alright, we're just gonna go ahead and do it. Let's place down one of these. The other thing I could do, I could consider at this point, is just go ahead and start getting another farming dome. And I'm going to do that. It doesn't need to be anything huge, though. Just a simple, basic farming dome right over here should be more than enough. Let's go ahead and launch on one of these magnetic shields. Yes, it's going to get rid of one of my rockets. The other one is preparing for expedition. We're waiting for 400 fuel to get delivered.
We have a food shortage.
I really don't have enough drones going around, do I? No, I don't. I'm a little concerned about something. Hold on. We've got 4 renegades. Why are there 11 people living in here? You're not... Hold on. You guys are dying and you're not renegades. Hold on. Why is anyone getting brought over here? I only want renegades. Literally nobody else. Hold on. Is part of the problem that people are using the trains, or are the shuttles just bringing over people to literally die? What I could do is drastically cut down the amount of people who live here, so I'm only purging at most like 5 or 6 at a time, and that should be enough to keep me on top of the renegade situation. Yeah, and I'm gonna get rid of this station. I feel like people are misusing this. This is not helping me. Get rid of this. Oh my gosh, no, this still isn't working. The shuttles keep bringing by non-renegades. Guys, you're literally signing the death warrant of innocence. What are you doing? Renegades only. There you go. Are you going to bring in the right people now? Okay, there's a renegade. Good. I'm literally turning off pretty much everything, with the exception of, since this is set to always, it doesn't matter what my preferences are, always send renegades here. They're disallowed everywhere else. In theory, this should solve the problem. There we go. Now we've got this set. Renegades are only showing up over here. Perfect. And who is going to get our farming dome? That is going to be Mathematicon. There we go. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook this sucker up, and it's going to be mostly for farming purposes and not much else. Once again, I have a stupid number of homeless people, though. What the heck is going on here? I really do not understand why this keeps happening, but all right. Well, we melted the polar ice caps. That went boom. And the skies just turned blue. And there are no more dust storms. We should also, I think, expect... Don't we usually get a dust storm after doing this? Well, maybe not. We can do it one more time, though. Yeah, another 10% and 5%. Little bit of a diminished return, but there we go. Whoa, the planet's getting bright. Oh, my eyes. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting a bunch of people to move in over here into this farm, which should solve some of these problems. Gradually, we'll get the cover crops. We're down to 500 food, which is starting to feel a little scary. I am planting down leaf crops and stuff, which hopefully helps. What do you mean there's a renegade All right, emergency maintenance on all factories. I shouldn't even have very many renegades. I've got exactly 5, and I know exactly where they are. This shouldn't even be a thing, but what do you know? Toxic rains are going to cause some issues. Somehow I'm really not producing much in the way of food over here yet, but that's partly because I still really need a lot more seeds. So as long as people jump in on this and hurry up, we're consuming a lot of food. We may have actually reacted to this a little bit too slow. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case, though. We will see. And we've got a whole bunch more moisture evaporators set up in a nice efficient pattern, trying to get more water in, because this many farms definitely starts to cause some problems. We are producing 2.1 per evaporator at this point. I'm very tempted to say let's just go mine some. We managed to avoid it up to this point. I'm going to get a second one of these magnetic field generators up and running over here if we can, to try and prevent more atmospheric loss, so this is building up very rapidly. Water is still not going up nearly as fast as I would like, but I really can't afford to keep spending it right now. We got to wait for these large lakes to kind of do their thing. And alas, I do think this is going to have to be good enough for this particular episode. And the game's freezing up again, which scares me every freaking time. Please don't die. There we go. When you pause, the problem seems to resolve itself. All right. Anyway, the progress is looking really solid over here. Running low on machine parts, but that's because I went for 2 upgrades on these wonders, so we're good there. Power's not going to be an issue for the rest of the game. We've got plenty of science coming in. I can start churning through money with just research patents if I want to. As long as we get on top of food, which I think we're stabilizing, we should be okay. And the Renegade situation is more or less under control, except for the rare occasions where it is not. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.